Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Alright, Steelers fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most shocking developments in the NFL this offseason. It's a rumor that's been circulating for a while now, but recent reports and insiders' comments suggest that a potential trade involving Trevor Lawrence might not be just speculation anymore. Yes, Trevor Lawrence, the so-called generational quarterback from Clemson, who many thought would be the face of the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise for years to come, might be on his way to the Steel City. Now I know it sounds crazy at first, but let's dig into the details, the context, and what this could really mean for the Steelers and the AFC North as a whole. Trevor Lawrence was drafted first overall in 2021, and from day one, he was hyped up as a franchise changer. The Jaguars, after years of struggling, finally had their guy, young, talented, with a cannon arm and the poise of a veteran. The expectations were sky-high. Many analysts and fans called him the next big thing, a quarterback who could lead Jacksonville to multiple playoff runs and maybe even a Super Bowl. And initially, there was some promise. In his second year, he showed flashes, throwing for over 4,000 yards and 21 touchdowns, despite some inconsistencies and a lack of overall team success. But then, things started to plateau. Injuries, coaching changes, and a roster that still wasn't quite there hampered his development in 2024. He finished that season with just over 2,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, numbers that are respectable but not what you'd expect from a supposed generational talent. This is where the story gets interesting. The Jaguars, under their new regime led by Liam Cohen and James Gladstone, are clearly trying to retool and reimagine their roster. They've made bold moves, like trading away key pieces and acquiring new talent, all with the goal of competing now. But the biggest question hanging over Jacksonville is whether Trevor Lawrence is truly the franchise quarterback they believed him to be when they drafted him. Some insiders suggest that the team's front office has become increasingly cautious, especially with the recent struggles and injuries. And that's where the rumors of a trade to the Steelers start to make sense. Now, let's talk about what the Steelers could possibly offer in return. The Jaguars are reportedly interested in acquiring TJ Watt, one of the most disruptive defensive players in the league, and a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a significant package, but it shows how much Jacksonville might be willing to invest to get a proven, young quarterback like Lawrence. And it's easy to see why the Steelers might be open to such a deal. Pittsburgh's quarterback situation has been the biggest question mark since Ben Roethlisberger retired. Sure, they brought in Aaron Rodgers, a future Hall of Famer, but let's be honest, Rodgers is 40 years old, and even if he's still playing at a high level, the future of the position is uncertain. Mason Rudolph and the rookie Will Howard are talented, but they haven't proven they can lead a team to a deep playoff run consistently. And that's the crux of it. The Steelers have been looking for that franchise quarterback for years. Since Big Ben's departure, the team has been searching, patching things together with different players, but none have truly solidified themselves as the long-term answer. Drafting a young QB like Anthony Richardson or Kyler Murray might be options, but those players come with their own risks. Trevor Lawrence on paper seems like a safer bet, someone with the tools, the pedigree, and the experience to step in and lead a contending team. And if the Steelers can make this deal happen, it would send a clear message across the league that Pittsburgh is all in on building a championship contender for the next decade. But let's not forget the other side of this coin. The Jaguars are in a strategic position. They're trying to capitalize on their current roster, their draft picks, and their cap space to make a real push for the playoffs this year. If they believe that Trevor Lawrence isn't the guy who can take them over the top, then trading him now might be the right move. They could get significant assets, players, picks, and cap relief that could accelerate their rebuild. It's a bold move, but in the NFL, bold is often necessary to shake things up and change the course of a franchise. Now, if we zoom out and look at this potential trade from a broader perspective, it's not just about the two teams involved. It's about the division, about the AFC landscape. A Trevor Lawrence move to the Steelers would instantly make Pittsburgh a more dangerous team in the AFC North. Pittsburgh's defense, as always, remains elite, anchored by Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and a talented linebacker core. But the offense has been the question mark. The addition of Lawrence could be a game-changer, transforming the Steelers from a good team into a serious Super Bowl contender. Imagine Trevor Lawrence, under the guidance of offensive coordinator Matt Canada, developing chemistry with emerging stars like George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth. Suddenly, the Steelers' offense, which has struggled at times, would have a dynamic playmaker at the helm, someone capable of extending plays, making throws on the run, and leading clutch drives. And for the division rivals, this is a nightmare scenario. The Ravens and Bengals are already formidable, with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow leading their respective teams. Adding a talent like Lawrence to the mix would make the AFC North arguably the most competitive division in football. Every game would be a battle, and the stakes would be sky-high. Steelers fans, you know how fierce this rivalry is. A quarterback upgrade like this would only intensify the rivalry and elevate the division's overall quality. But of course, all of this is still speculative. The NFL offseason is a whirlwind of rumors, leaks, and strategic moves. The Steelers might have other plans, perhaps focusing on the draft or on developing their current roster. But the possibility of landing Trevor Lawrence is an exciting thought, one that could redefine the franchise's future. It's not just about one player, it's about the vision for the team, the aspirations of a franchise that has a rich history of success, and a passionate fan base that demands greatness. The Steelers have always been known for their stability, their resilience, and their ability to find gems in the draft or through trades. This offseason, everything seems to be pointing toward a potential shift, an opportunity to finally secure a true franchise quarterback after so many years of searching. And if this trade becomes reality, it could be the move that puts Pittsburgh back on top, not just in the division but in the entire NFL landscape. Now, I know many of you are probably thinking, is this really going to happen, or is it just a pipe dream? Well, I can tell you, the NFL is unpredictable, and sometimes, the most unlikely deals happen when you least expect them. The fact that these rumors are gaining traction means there's some substance behind the talk. The Steelers have the assets, the motivation, and the need. Jacksonville has the talent, the cap space, and the desire to make a splash. It's a perfect storm of circumstances that could lead to one of the most shocking trades in recent memory. And for us Steelers fans, this is what makes this offseason so thrilling. We've seen so many seasons of rebuilds, close calls, and heartbreaks. But a move like this could finally bring that elusive Super Bowl back to Pittsburgh. It's what we've been dreaming of, and the possibility, even if it's just a whisper now, keeps us on the edge of our seats. The NFL never sleeps, and neither do the Steelers' ambitions. Whether this trade materializes or not, it's a perfect example of how quickly things can change in this league, and how the Steelers are always in the mix, always looking for that next big piece to complete their puzzle. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, if the Steelers do pull the trigger and land Trevor Lawrence, the impact wouldn't just be immediate. It would be felt throughout the NFL, especially in the AFC. The rivalry with the Ravens, the Bengals, and even the Bills and Chiefs would take on a new level of intensity. Lawrence's talent, combined with the Steelers' strong defense and capable weapons, could turn Pittsburgh into a powerhouse for years to come. But even beyond the on-field results, it's about the message sent. The Steelers are committed to winning now. They're willing to make bold moves to chase a Super Bowl, just like in the glory days of the 1970s. And let's not forget the fans. We've been waiting for this moment, waiting for a quarterback who can truly lead us back to the promised land. We want a young star, someone with the charisma, the talent, and the mental toughness to carry this team on his shoulders. Trevor Lawrence fits that mold perfectly. If this trade happens, it will be a seismic shift not just for the Steelers, but for the entire league. It would be the kind of move that fans talk about for decades, that becomes part of Steelers lore. Of course, there are still questions. Will Jacksonville pull the trigger? Is Trevor Lawrence truly available? What will the Steelers have to give up? And most importantly, can Trevor thrive in Pittsburgh's environment? Will he be the guy who finally delivers that Lombardi trophy? All these questions keep the offseason buzzing, and as fans, we can only wait and see how it unfolds. But one thing is for sure, this potential trade is the kind of story that keeps NFL fans, especially Steelers fans, glued to their screens, dreaming of a brighter, championship-filled future. So, as we wrap up, I want to remind you to stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep your eyes on the NFL news cycle. Because if this trade does happen, it will be one of the most talked-about stories of the decade. The Steelers, with a new franchise quarterback, could reignite their dynasty, and the AFC North might never be the same. The excitement is real, the stakes are high, and the future is full of possibilities. Thanks for being with me today, and remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest news about your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Keep the faith, keep the passion alive, and let's see what this season has in store for us.